this particular budget, Budget 2025, obviously comes on the heels of a much anticipated election year, and a year that has started with much fast-paced growth, building on the previous 4 years. I think the private sector will be very excited about this year's budget because it builds on the previous successes of the last 4 iterations of tax removal and fiscal packages that are available for the private sector. One of the things that I particularly like is the incentives that are given for persons to work harder and longer hours. Because one of the things that the private sector has been crying out about is the ability to access the workforce right now, because there's so much concentration of construction and all the other sectors are grabbing different spaces of work. So we do need persons to work multiple jobs, and we do need persons to work longer. So I believe there's a threshold of $50,000 for the first, for your overtime pay, as well as for your second job of the first $50,000. There's a threshold there as well. So I believe this will push the needle, especially for the Guyanese, to take up the mantle to work hard in the private sector so that we could reach those developmental targets that we want. I also like that in the agricultural sector, we see further removal of taxes on various capital machinery and equipment. And as Guyana looks to diversify its economy away from just being an oil producer, this will help more persons in the rice industry and the other crops industry to be able to develop and grow their crops and develop their farms, etc. The AgriFest activity will be held, an annual event that is held in Barbados, and Guyana has been a participant, but not just a participant, but Guyana has been one of the mainstay and highlights of that particular activity. So in February, from the 21st to the 23rd, several Guyanese would be going to AgriFest to participate in this year's activities. I believe this year we have in excess of 75 participants or delegates who have already shown interest to participate in events. Obviously, we need to finalize things like accommodation, hotel, etc. We have in excess of 75 Guyanese businesses who want to attend this year's AgriFest, and this ranges in different fields such as tourism, agro-processing, and the craft producers. And they all are excited to go to Barbados to display their different crafts. So for this year's AgriFest activity, we'll also have a training exercise that will be held next Tuesday, I believe that's the 21st of January, to equip those persons who would be going to Barbados so that they could be ready in terms of understanding all the phytosanitary requirements, understanding how to market their products, and very importantly, understanding how to price their products effectively. Because of course, we're going to sell in a nation that has a different foreign exchange that we do, or local currency that we do. So this is to help those persons in their preparations to get to AgriFest. While there as well, on the 25th of February, or the 24th of February rather, we will host a B2B activity, a business-to-business activity that will allow all of those delegates, all of them who attend, to be able to connect with various Barbadian distributors. So we have had the success over the years of being able to get many of the local products overseas and to open up those new markets in Barbados. We have Comfort Sleep, we have Only Coconuts, and last year we had Tidy Up GY, who was now distributing, and that's a local laundry supplies and cleaning detergents company that is now supplying their products in Barbados. But we have a whole lot of other businesses. Quite recently, Demerara Distillers Limited, my apologies, is supplying their Savannah milk products in Barbados, and we expect that more and more Guyanese products will be able to access that market. I know that many Guyanese live in Barbados right now. We have a large diaspora there, and many of them are excited about things like the pepper pot in the box and our flavored food flavored sauces and all of our other beautifully curated agro-processed material. The cutoff date has actually passed. We wanted to start the planning quite early this year, but I would urge you, if you do have the interest, you can reach out to the Guyana Office of Investment. We would like to still try to facilitate you, but of course we need to know very urgently so that we can arrange the packing of the containers for them to be shipped in ample time to Barbados. In terms of what successes might be yielded, I would not want to be the one to make such an announcement at this time, but we do have very serious companies who are actually coming before AgriFest to Guyana, and they're coming in a new week to look at some of the Guyanese products. So we might even have more news than I could have initially announced tonight.